Hi, boys and girls. Happy Friday. Today is June 12th, 2020. Yay. I love Friday. It's my favorite day of the week. So today is our last day to discuss worms and observe them. I have a couple more worms that I was able to dig in my woods, which is right back there. I went back in the woods and I was able to grab a couple worms carefully from the dirt that I'm going to share with you. But before I do that, I want to go over our popcorn words, and then we're going to go over the diagram that you're going to do today of a worm's body. So I want to do that first. So let's go over the popcorn words. Of. She pulled him out of the mud. Of. Because. Run. 3 times. Run. Run. And from, F-R-O-M is from. All right, so we're going to take of, and I am going to use it in a sentence, and I'm going to model that for you. Okay, so let's put this down. Of. She pulled him out of the mud. Great. Move this over. She pulled him out of the mud. She pulled him out of the mud. Let's see. My eraser's over there. It's okay. All right. She pulled him out of the mud. Awesome. All right. I'm just going to put that to the side. So of, one more time, 3 times each. Of. Very good. Okay, next. So the diagram that you need to work on today looks like this. All right, you have the parts that you are going to cut out, and you are going to label the worm's body. So you're going to make a diagram. Now, this exact diagram is in the book that I read earlier this week. So I'm going to show it to you in color so you can see it. So here we go. I don't know if you remember this from earlier this week. It has the front, which is more narrow or skinnier than the back. Segments are the lines. The bristles are the hairs for anchoring and moving in the soil. The saddle, another name for the saddle, is the egg pouch. So we have the front, and that's where the mouth is. That's where it eats its way through the dirt. We have segments, which are lines. The bristles, which are the tiny hairs. I actually, on mine, made it a little bit so you could see it. If you want to pause the video, you can do it right now. I made the hairs a little bit longer so it's easy to see. So when you cut the parts at the bottom, you're going to glue them where they go, and then you're going to read them back to a parent. So it says front, say front, mouth, segment, which are the lines, the bristles, which I made just a little bit longer because they were hard to see in the image that I sent to you. And then the saddle, which is the egg pouch or saddle. And then the back right here. All right, awesome. So if you need to pause the video, you can pause the video right here. And you can do the diagram later. That's completely up to you. So this is what you're going to work on today. Another big writing assignment for today is we read lots of different books. I'm actually going to listen to one more right now, very short. And then you are going to write about what you learned about worms. So at least 2 sentences about what you learned about worms. So I know you learned a lot. This information in this book, it's going to be review for you. So you're going to listen to it. And maybe you will learn something new, or maybe it'll just be a review, but it can be something that you can include in your writing for today. So we have the contents, which is part of nonfiction literature. It says earthworms are on page 2, healthy soil, page 4, worm food, page 6, droppings, page 9, and so forth. Okay. Earthworms live in soil. We know that. Soil is another name for dirt. They have long bodies covered in tiny hairs. Those tiny hairs are called bristles. They have a mouth. We knew that. Earthworms do not have eyes, ears, or legs. They do not have bones. They breathe through their skin. Awesome. Healthy soil. Earthworms make tunnels. We knew that. And burrows in the soil. The tunnels and burrows let air and water into the soil. This keeps the soil healthy. Healthy soil makes a good home for plants and tiny animals. All right, information that we did know, but maybe that's something that you want to include in your writing for today. Worm food. Most earthworms stay in their burrows, which is tunnels underneath the ground, during the day. They come out at night to find food. Earthworms eat rotting leaves and plants. They eat soil too. Earthworms have many predators. If an earthworm stays on top of the soil for too long, I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not. If an earthworm stays on top of the soil for too long, it will be eaten. So it quickly has to find its way down back into the soil. Earthworms pull rotting leaves and plants into their burrows to eat. They pull it down quickly so that a predator doesn't eat them. They have to do it kind of fast. Droppings, that's their poop. Earthworm droppings are full of things that are good for the soil. And this is a good picture. I like this picture right here. So if you didn't know what you were looking at, you would kind of think maybe that was just a pile of mud, but it's actually the castings or the droppings from the earthworms. Okay, the circle of life. Here we go. We have trees and plants, then the leaves fall off the trees and the leaves rot in the ground. The earthworms eat the leaves. Oops, I'll put it so you can see. The earthworms poop out the droppings, what they don't need, and it makes healthy soil, goes into the soil where new plants grow, and bigger trees as well, and then it happens all over again. The circle of life. I like that diagram. And then it's if you want to make a compost bin. I'm not going to get too much into that, but I am going to show you the glossary on the back, which has important words from the story, such as breathe, burrows, compost, damp, droppings, healthy, predators, and rotting. I want to highlight predators. Predators are animals that catch and eat other animals. All right, so the bird is the predator of the worm. It hunts worms, tries to eat them. Okay, so what did you learn about worms? So this is what I learned about worms. Worms can be either male or female. Worms have a life cycle. They hatch out of an egg pouch. Worms have enemies that try to eat them. They are moles, birds, shrews, and hedgehogs. We learned that from our stories that we listened to this week. Worms have blood but no heart. Moist soil, that means soil that's a little bit wet. Most soil at parks and in gardens has passed through a worm's body. So most soil has passed through a worm's body. I think that's a very interesting fact. So this is what I learned about worms, and I included in my writing. You need to pick two, something that you didn't know. It doesn't have to be what I wrote about or shared with you. Maybe you didn't know that they dug tunnels underneath the ground. Maybe you didn't know that they breathe through their skin. Whatever it is that you didn't know, you're going to write about today. 2 facts, 2 sentences, and try your best. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to put everything aside, and like I said, I was able to go in the woods in the backyard and find some more worms for us to observe. So I'm going to put my tray down right here, and I have my 2 worms that are inside the bucket. They're very, very quiet right now. They're not really moving around right now, so I'm going to spray them with the water to try to kind of get them going a little bit. All right, let's see if it works. And I'm wondering if you were able to dig up any worms yesterday, or maybe you observed them if it rained. You were able to observe their behavior if it came up, because a lot of times when it rains, we learned that their habitat, the ground fills up with water and they need to come up because they breathe through their skin and look for a different place to live if it gets flooded out. So let's see. So these worms are not moving right now. All right, I'm very carefully. All right, so it looks like I just have 2. I'm going to spray them with a little bit of water, see if I can get them going. Oops. Let's put this down. My son took a drink of it. Oh, plane overhead. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, he wants to get away from the water. You watching him go? You watching him go? There he goes. There he goes. He's stretching and squeezing his body. He's like, what is going on? This is not my home. I want to be back in the dirt. He's pretty long once he stretches out. Watch him go. There he goes. So if you have a little time this weekend and you can dig a little hole somewhere in your yard, maybe you can observe some worms and their behavior. There he goes. He's going right to the end. He's going right to the end. He's on my star. Ooh, there's a little bit of water. I bet he's going to avoid the water. Let's see if he goes in it or if he goes around it. Yeah, he's backing up. See? He's like, I don't want to go towards the water. I'm going to go away from the water. Here he goes. There he goes. Happy Friday, boys and girls, and I will see you on Monday. We have a short week next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday is the last day of school, so stay tuned, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.